friends, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, my name is Cami, and what I like to do here on YouTube is I like to call out scammers of the multi-level marketing brand, and that is exactly what we're going to be doing today. Y'all like my hair? It's courtesy of Monat. I can't say that with a straight face. No, I'm just kidding. It's courtesy of Amazon. $12 hair extensions that Jessica Hickson mentioned in her video, and they're not quite my hair color, so I kind of had to pin my hair back to make it less obvious because my hair has blonde highlights, but I kind of love it. Milo is also screaming out there, but if we let him in, he's going to just get into everything, but if we keep him locked out, he screams. So it's a catch-22 situation. Can't win, can't lose. So today, I've kind of been going hard on Monat lately. And don't get me wrong, I hate Monat because I hate the claims that they can grow back hair after chemo. I hate any kind of multi-level marketing scam. The Senate should just end there. But I hate any kind of multi-level marketing scam that makes promises about chronic conditions, chronic illnesses. That includes cancer. But today we're talking about my least favorite multi-level marketing scam, and that is Herbalife. So if you don't know my story about Herbalife, long story short, someone tried to recruit me while I was actively receiving chemo. I've told the story before in a video. I don't remember which video it is. I think it was like 2 or 3 videos back. Point is, I hate Herbalife. That is my least favorite MLM. I can't wait for them to get shut down. Actually get shut down, not just have to restructure. So we are going to react to an Herbalife, not a trading call, but a trading video. I think it was posted on the official Herbalife YouTube channel. But before we start, can we talk about this art that my wonderful friend Morgan made for me? They actually made this for me. They gave it to me back in July, but I finally got a frame for it because I knew that I wanted this to be part of my background, and I'm going to eventually hang it up here, and it's going to be like the centerpiece of my background. I just haven't gotten around to it. And as you'll see, I am the laziest person ever, and I'm a procrastinator, but I finally got around to it. And I will have their Instagram linked in the description below, along with all of my own social medias, so that way you can follow me on every single one of them. And before we get into the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, so that way you can follow me. And don't forget to hit that bell button so that way you don't miss anything that I post. So now that all of that is out of the way, let's get right on into the video.
My name's Sarah Green. I am a 40K President's Team member in Herbalife. Been with the company for 8 years now, and it is my absolute honor and privilege to take you through this section today, which is going to be all about mindset. And for me, I'm going to tell you a little bit of my...
This woman is gorgeous, and her accent is... Oh my god, I love her accent. I just want to say that before we get into this video. Okay.
Story first, because this is a really interesting topic for me.
Also, she's got really good teeth. Okay.
Talk about, because I have had to grow so much as a person over the past 8 years to become the person that I am today, taking you through this section. So cast your mind back 8 years ago. I was a manager of a lettings company. I was working a full-time job around 3 young children. My husband Kev was in the armed forces, working very long hours, away a lot of the time. And I was somebody who I wasn't looking to lose weight. From the outside, wasn't looking for a business opportunity. I had quite a good job. As I said, I was a manager of a lettings company earning a reasonable salary, but I was absolutely exhausted all of the time. So I never had any energy to, just by the time I'd get home from work in the evening, I'd pick the children up from the childminders. I was exhausted, and I was living off of coffee, high sugar snacks.
Is that what they call daycare and babysitters there in England, is childminders? I kind of love that. Childminders.
and just not fueling my body right. And I'm somebody that's always suffered with my mental health. So found exercise quite a few years ago really helped that. So I was doing lots and lots of exercise. I was quite fit, but I just wasn't fueling my body the right way. And
quite fit, lady, you are like the epitome of what I imagine someone who is fit to look like. Also, of course you're going to be happy. You're exercising. Or not happy, because she just said that her mental health wasn't the best. But of course she's going to be feeling good because she's going to the gym. There's like studies that correlate exercise and feeling good. So of course she's going to be feeling good because she's going to the gym. And I'm pretty sure where this is going is she's going to be like, "Oh, Herbalife helped me feel good." But if you're going to the gym, that's probably what's making you feel good. It probably doesn't have anything to do with Herbalife. But let's I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's keep watching.
Introduced to Herbalife products through Kev's best friend Jim, who's our sponsor, and they'd been friends for years and years, and Jim was actually best man at our wedding, and he had started to talk about Herbalife products, how he was using them himself, and had an amazing result. And I was a big skeptic. I was like, shakes and pills and potions, that's crazy, like it's not sustainable. I was a real negative Nora. I didn't agree with meal replacements. And he said to me,
I love that. Negative Nora. I'm going to start using that from now on. Instead of negative Nancy, negative Nora. Because my mom's name is Nancy. So it's negative Nora from this point going forward, okay? Also, they always say, "Oh, I was a skeptic. I was this, I was that. I didn't think that it worked." But if you were really a skeptic, you wouldn't be drawn in by an MLM.
"Well, what are you having for your breakfast?" And I remember thinking, coffee. And I was your typical breakfast skipping, lunch skipping coffee addict. And he said, "Look, you're always moaning you're tired," because I will.
That's probably why you felt like crap, lady, because you're skipping breakfast and lunch. Like, look, I'm not one to talk because I have a bad habit of skipping breakfast and lunch, but at least I can admit that I feel like crap because I skip breakfast and lunch. I'm not pretending like, "Oh, I feel like crap because I didn't have Herbalife in my life."
I was moaning I was tired. Why don't you just try them to give you a bit of energy? Now, I wasn't looking to lose weight, as I said, but
alternatively, you could eat to give yourself energy. This is such horrible advice because she's talking about how she was skipping breakfast and lunch and was drinking coffee to sustain herself. And now she's talking about how she would drink. She's probably about to start talking about how she started drinking Herbalife. And I don't want to put words in her mouth, but my prediction is she's probably going to start talking about how she started using Herbalife as a meal replacement, because that's one of the big things that uplines tell you to do is use Herbalife as a meal replacement, which meal replacement shakes aren't actually meal replacements. You're supposed to have a meal replacement shake and have a light meal with it. So like you have a meal replacement shake for breakfast and you're supposed to have a banana with it. You have a meal replacement shake for lunch, you're supposed to have like a small bit of protein with it. At least that's my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they don't preach that in Herbalife. They say, "Oh, you only need Herbalife shakes and you're fine." But in my opinion, that opens a door to disordered eating, especially if you're preaching it to young people.
It was something I needed. Anyone that's got young children and working a full-time job and doing all the other things that we do as mums, right, cleaning the house and etc., I needed more energy. So I said, "You know what? I've got nothing to lose. I won't tell anyone I'm doing it, but I'll try them for myself." And I tried the products I was on a basic plan, and I just started to have one for my breakfast. And sometimes if I was busy out on appointments for work, I would have another one for my lunch. And I would say within about a week to 10 days, I was like, whoa, this stuff is good. I could see the difference in my energy straight away.
So down here it says at the bottom, it says this product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. So I mean, I guess at least they have that, but she just said she's having one for breakfast and for lunch. So she's having 2 meal replacement shakes and eating 1 meal a day. This cannot be good for you. There's no way. How much caffeine is in an Herbalife shake? Okay, so their tea concentrate has 85 milligrams of caffeine per serving. So a cup of coffee has an 8 fluid ounce cup of coffee has 95 milligrams of caffeine. So I guess it's not that much caffeine, but that doesn't change the fact that you're using this as a meal replacement. I don't imagine that that's good for you. I don't imagine that it's good to live off of meal replacements. Protein shakes support muscle growth and repair after exercise, and they can be a quick meal replacement when you're on the go. Drinking 2 protein shakes instead of full meals daily may help you lose weight, but it isn't really a long-term weight management solution. But she's not using it to lose weight. She's using it to get her energy up. But I still can't imagine that this is very good for her.
I could also start to see the difference in my body in just literally that short amount of time. And as the weeks went by...
So down here, they just put another little notice on the thing. I'm sorry that I'm stopping this so much, but they just put another message on the bottom of the screen. It says, all references to weight management relate to the Herbalife Nutrition Weight Management Program, which includes, amongst other things, a varied and balanced diet, regular exercise, an adequate daily fluid intake, nutritional supplementation, where required, and appropriate rest. Individual results will vary. So if you're going to put that on there, why have this woman come on here and talk about how she was drinking 2 meal replacement shakes a day?
Everything was just improving week upon week. And I remember not actually having any intention of doing it as a business at all, but the natural thing to do when you feel amazing is to tell people. And I told my best friend. My mum actually was the first person that noticed the difference in me. She was actually thinking I'd been taking something crazy.
So I am on Lexapro for my depression, but you don't see me going out and recommending Lexapro to every single person. Well, first of all, I'm not a doctor, so I wouldn't say that. But not everyone wants to recommend a product just because it makes them feel better. Some people just like to take a product or use a product because it makes them feel better. If someone asks, then yeah, sometimes people will be like, oh, this is what I use, or oh, this is what I take. But not everyone wants to do that. So no, it's not natural that you would start recommending the products. Some people, that doesn't even cross their mind.
So much energy all of a sudden. And I said to my mum, you need to try these products. I feel amazing. My mum, like me, like many other people out there, it was a breakfast skipper. And she said, go on then, I'll try the products. And this is literally how it started. Very much the same happened to Kev. So we didn't intend on doing Herbalife as a business, but when you fall in love with the products, it's a natural thing to do, isn't it? It's a natural thing to talk to somebody about it. And that's what we did. And from there, we started to share it with more and more people. We went to a meeting and listened to people, normal people. You know, way back 8 years ago, I was somebody who wasn't very good at talking to people I didn't know. I was quite an introverted person. You never would have caught me doing anything like this, talking to lots and lots of people. But I thought, you know what, I do love these products. So
they all say that, you know, oh, I'm an introvert. I would never talk about these products to people. But clearly you're not that much of an introvert if you've made it all this high of a ranking in a multi-level marketing company.
Maybe I could just talk to a few people that I know about them. And that's how it started. But over the time, what happened was I could see the bigger opportunity. And for me, this was the one opportunity that was going to help us get out of the situation.
So at the bottom, they've put another message. It says, the incomes presented are those of persons within the top 1% of Herbalife Nutrition members. For additional financial performance data, see the statement of average gross compensation paid by Herbalife Nutrition at herbalife.co.uk and uk.myherbalife.com. I can't believe I just accepted cookies from Herbalife. Let's look at this compensation plan. Or let's look at this income disclosure statement, I should say. Let's see if I can even find it. Modern slavery statement. Oh, okay. That's just saying at Herbalife Nutrition we are committed to ensuring that there is no place for modern slavery nor human trafficking in our business and our supply chain. Suspiciously specific denial, considering y'all don't even pay most of your distributors. Now, of course, it would be very insensitive of me to say Herbalife owns slaves, because that would be discrediting the struggles that millions and millions of Black people went through. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I am saying is that when someone works as hard as these distributors do, because these distributors do work hard, that it's not right for Herbalife to not pay them a living wage. It's not right. That's what I'm saying. So I don't want anyone to take this as me saying that, oh, Herbalife owns slaves, because that's not what I'm saying at all. Because as I said before, that would be me trivializing what millions of African American people went through. But it's not right what Herbalife or any multi-level marketing company does. Now let me see if I can find this income disclosure statement. On the percentage of sales leaders with a downline, there are 25,193 distributors. Average payments from Herbalife is 0. Average gross payments from Herbalife is 0. And on the people that made $1 to $1,000 is 39,151. The average gross payments is $292. So 30% of distributors last year didn't make anything. 47.5% last year made $292. And that is the average gross payments. But as we know, we can't look at the average in an MLM on an income disclosure statement. We have to look at the median, which they don't have listed here. And this is on sales leaders with the downline. So you can't just say that these are the ones that, because they love to say, oh, well, some people just join for the discount. These are the people with a downline. So these are the people that are actively trying to rank up.
We were in, and at that time we were like £28,000 in debt, very, very limited in our our options of getting out of it. I was kind of earning my maximum salary. Kev was earning as much as he could in the forces. So this really was the only option for us to be able to earn an additional income that we could do from home, that we didn't need any special skills for, and we were already taking the products and loving them. So it was a natural progression.
Alternatively, you could start an actual business. You could develop formulas for your own actual shakes. You could start a Poshmark business. I mean, I don't know if Poshmark existed 8 years ago, but you could start a reselling business. You could do a transcribing business. You could do literally anything. There's a ton of work from home options that aren't a multi-level marketing scam.
And we got super serious. We saw some people earn an incredible amount of money. We thought, you know what, if they can do it, maybe we could make this work. And we got really, really serious. And for about 8 months, we focused so hard on speaking to people about the product, speaking to people about the opportunity. And within 11 months of joining the company, we hit the millionaire team.
This is an example for illustrative purposes only, and it's not a representation of what your business will look like. Individual results will vary.
And then we continued to do what we were doing, and then after 3 years, we had hit the president's team. And then literally over the past year, it has been insane. We've gone from president's team to 15K, 20K, 30K, and now 40K. Guys, if you had told me 8 years ago that I would be a 40K president's team member, I would have just never.
So it looks like to qualify for the president's team, you have to have 10 or more fully qualified president's team members and 10 or more separate lines of your downline organization. How big is this woman's downline? Holy crap. So the president's team is 1/2 of 1%, and they're making over $400,000 a year. Maybe I just don't have a concept of how much money a lot of money is, but $400,000 doesn't seem like a lot to me to work that hard in an MLM. So you have the distributors, which is the entry level, you have the supervisors, which is the second level, the world team, the get team, the millionaire team, and the president's team. So there's 12 levels in Herbalife. I already went over up to the president's team, but there's 2 more levels above president's team. There's the chairman club, which is like the top, the tippy top, and then there's the founder's circle, which is the 10 first line, the fully qualified president's team members, and 10 separate lines of your downline organization. The chairman's club has 5 first line, fully qualified president's team members, and 5 separate lines of your downline organization. So a 40K president's team, which is what she's talking about, is 40,000 royalty override points in 3 consecutive months. So it says to qualify for the president's team member, you must earn 10,000 royalty points from your first 3 levels of supervisors for 3 consecutive months. So I assume royalty points is essentially the same thing as personal volume. That means the total VP from your first 3 levels of supervisors must exceed 200,000 VP every month for 3 consecutive months. The pros and the cons are the same as the millionaire team member, except that the bonus is now paid 6% to 7%. You need to re-qualify for this position every year. If not, you will not get paid on the bonus. So this founder's circle thing that I mentioned, it says to qualify for this position, you must have 10 first line fully qualified president's team members and 10 separate lines of your downline organization. So when it says separate lines in your downline organization, that means I think that means other members of your downline have to have other people under them. It says, as of the 1st of September 2013, there are only 9 Founders Circle members. Herbalife claims they have over 2 million distributors worldwide, yet so few only manage to reach this elite level.
Believed it too. I wouldn't even believe that I would ever be a president's team member because I didn't have the belief in myself. I didn't have the mindset for it. I didn't have the right attitude, but do you know what? My journey has helped me develop it a lot along the way. And I want to talk to you about that right now. So a couple of things I really think is important to mention. And number one is the training you've had this weekend has been off the scale. I mean, literally some of the most incredible people, not just in the country, but in the whole of Europe, even the Herbalife world, sharing how they're doing what they're doing, you know, literally from the beginning of the conversations of how they're finding their customers, how they're finding their members, how they're activating them, how they're getting them to become leaders, etc. But what I really want to say is, you have everything you possibly need right now to be successful in Herbalife. There's only going to be a couple of things that are going to stop you. And that all comes down to you. This is not a business of mechanics, okay? Like,
nothing like some good old-fashioned victim blaming. The only thing that's going to stop you from being successful in your business is you.
Everything in Herbalife works. Every single possible thing that you've learned over the past weekend is working for somebody. The only difference is for the people that it's not working for is they are not working it, okay? So what
did I just say about victim blaming? For the people that it's not working for, they're just not working hard enough. It's not that they're not working hard enough because, like I said, the people on the very bottom work harder than anyone in the company. And to say that they're not working hard enough is disgusting. It's victim blaming at its finest, and the people at the top wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for the people at the bottom. As we know, they build their entire fortune off the backs of other people, off the backs of their downline. And to say that the people at the bottom just aren't working hard enough is disgusting, it's manipulative, and it's victim blaming. And I'm so mad. It's not that they're not working hard enough, it's that the scam is working and the system is built to work against them.
Remember, always, even up, like, you know, whatever level you get to in your Herbalife business, remember that Sarah Green says this is a business of mindset, not mechanics, okay? No matter where you get to, because what can happen is, and we've experienced this many times in our journey over the past 8 years, things come at you that you never expected. You know, leadership was not something I ever had dealt with in my life. I'd been a mom, but I wasn't a leader of an organization. You know, wealth, I'd never had wealth. I'd never experienced wealth before. Like, achievements, I've achieved having children, but I'd never achieved big goals and big dreams before. So all of these.
Imagine being one of her kids and seeing this, and she says, I've never achieved big goals. I mean, yeah, I have kids, but I've never achieved big goals before. Imagine being one of her kids and seeing this. This reminds me of Christina Smallwood when she kept calling her kid Sad Sammy. That's what this reminds me of.
For many of you are going to be new, and they come with their challenges as well as with their perks, and sometimes some of the things that we achieve often bring with them a little bit of a defect of thought. That's what I'm going to call it, okay? A defect of thought. And ultimately, your thoughts are going to be the thing that determine your success. Because if you don't have good thoughts, Jim Rohn calls our brains our mental factory, okay? Our mind is our mental factory. And what you put into that factory is what comes out. Now, the danger of starting to achieve great things in not just in Herbalife, but in life is it can play havoc with things like your ego. And I'm here to tell you, having been through it myself, never ever lose your humility. Never buy into your own rubbish story about how amazing you are and that you're the biggest deal, because ultimately that won't be the thing to get you where you got. So,
ma'am, are you listening to yourself? You're going to tell other people not to give into their ego while you're sitting here talking about how the only reason that people don't make it in Herbalife is because they're not working hard enough? The audacity. The sheer audacity.
Often what we can do is, for me, for example, when I hit the millionaire team, we were earning life-changing money, guys. It was wonderful. It was incredible. We paid off our debt. We put our children in private education.
It's also funny to me how she's talking about ego and don't get this big ego, and she's bragging about everything that she's done with Herbalife.
A Range Rover. Life was wonderful, but what happened was we started to think we'd arrived. We'd started to think we're a millionaire team, as almost as if we were millionaires, And the thoughts start to creep in, like, what do we need to do now? We need to teach our guys how to do what to do. We need to sit back and develop some strategies and some theories. No, guys, that is not what inspired your team to help you get where you got to. What inspires your team to help you move forward is your action, okay? And think to yourself, who would you want to follow? Would you want to follow somebody that was leading by example, that had a great attitude, that was up early, that was doing the do, that was talking through experience? Or would you want to follow someone that was sitting there talking through theory about how things were once before? Of course, you would want to follow the person that is leading by example. So always remember, in Herbalife, we are leaders, not managers.
I mean, I don't want to follow you if that's what you're asking.
Say go, go, go. Leaders say, let's go. And whenever I feel in my business like I'm getting a bit stuck, it always comes down to the same thing: my own personal activity. You cannot expect anybody to follow you if you're not prepared to go and do it first. And we all have this dual nature. Jim Rohn calls it a dual nature, okay, where we have good and we have bad. And it is a constant and never-ending battle to make sure that we fuel and feed the good and try and starve as much of the bad as we can. And the bad is letting those thoughts creep in of we've arrived, we don't need to do that anymore. Like, all of the things that are feeding this ego, that's the dual part of your personality that you don't.
Why do they always say all the things? Like every single MLMer, they're like, all the things.
Feed, guys, okay? You want to feed the part that says, I am working on myself to become better, no matter what level I get to, no matter what pin I get to, no matter what income I get to. And the truth of the matter is, guys, for me, as I said, some of the most unbelievable achievements I've achieved.
Achieving higher levels in the sales and marketing plan and royalties are not typical and require hard work, skill, and dedication. If you are interested in seeing typical results, see our statement of average gross compensation at herbalifenutrition.com/SAGC. Actually achieving higher levels in the sales and marketing plan don't require hard work, skill, and dedication, because if that's all it took, everyone would be at the top of the compensation plan and there would be no one at the bottom.
Within Herbalife, achieving like the president's team was life-changing for me. I'll never forget. It's one of the most proud moments of my life was getting that pin, and equally earning
one of the most proud moments of her life was getting the pin. I guess fuck her kids. Forget about them kids, that's not one of the most proud moments of her life. No, Oh, getting the pin for the President's Club was the most proud moment of her life, silly goose.
Crazy amounts of income it's wonderful, you know, and helping your family and helping your friends. But what happens is
Something interesting to note about this is most multi-level marketing people will talk about how they want to help people change their lives and that's why they do this. No, this woman is just straight up admitting that the reason she does this is for the money, that she does this for the crazy amounts of wealth that she has.
Your life just for achieving these pins and this income, you're constantly chasing the next thing to make you happy, and when you achieve it, you can feel like, you know, you lose your passion for what you're doing. So really my advice is connect with why you're doing what you're doing. Okay, what is your true passion? When you feel like you're living your passion through your purpose through your passion, every day is a day you can't wait to get up out of bed in the morning. And you know, I get up out of my bed bright and early in the morning, ready to take on the day, ready to help as many people as I can with the products, just as I did when I was a supervisor.
So now she's talking about how she's ready to help as many people as she can, and that's why she does it. Ma'am, Herbalife shakes are not life-changing. You can go down to the GNC and get something just as good, if not better. My Slim Fast Nutrition works just as good. Actually, it works better than the Herbalife nutrition because my Slim Fast nutrition doesn't cause liver failure.
Not for the income. I earn an amazing income. Not for the house, not for the car, not for the pin. I do it because I understand now, having gone through all those things, that truly what makes me happy is being in pursuit of something much bigger than money.
If it's not for the pin, why are you talking about how the pin was one of the best moments of your life? If you don't do it for the pin, why... If you don't do it for all these things, why bring it up?
Bigger than a pin, being in pursuit of my passion and my purpose, which is to go out there and help as many people as I can with the opportunity to help them with their health, to change their lives with the wealth, just as I was given that opportunity.
Oh, your health will change all right, not for the better. Your liver will fail. But I mean, I guess she's technically not wrong that your health will change.
8 years ago. So look at yourself this year and think, you know, what do I want to achieve this year? And set yourself some amazing goals for sure. Material goals, travel goals, if we ever get to travel again, which we will for sure. But material things, cars, houses, they're all wonderful things. But really think about,
if this woman don't stop making these mouth noises, it's just constant.
What do I want to achieve long term from this? For me, what I want to achieve long term is to get up in the morning knowing that I am living my best life on a daily basis because I'm completely connected to my passion. And my passion is helping people, you know?
Living my best life, gaslighting, gatekeeping, girl bossing.
Just as much joy from helping somebody become a senior consultant now at a 40k Pres team as I did when I was a world team member, because I love to help people. So it's really good to chase the material things for sure, and the pins, absolutely. When you get the pins and the success, it's wonderful. But just really,
I'm gonna add like a counter to this video about how many times she talks about this pin. If I have to hear about this pin one more time.
You're connected to all the bits in between that make this journey so magical, and having that constant, you know, that focus of mindset, you know, how is my mindset? Is my attitude in check? And really working on that, because it can be the biggest thing to get you to the next level and to help you progress. And it can be the biggest thing to hold you back, way more than any structure, way more than any flow, way more than any opinion will be your mindset, okay? How you feel about what you're doing, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about, you know, your own activity. And if you find that you're getting frustrated or you're not where you want to be, the first person that you want to look at is in the mirror, okay? You don't look outwards to your organization and think, why are they not growing? Why are they that? As some of you will remember, I did a training on, you know, the fruit machine. And when you go to the arcades and the slot machines and you put the pennies in, this is you sometimes when you're going on your journey and you're progressing, you're popping lots of pennies in the fruit machine, which represents people. And then you've got
been exposed. I'm wearing Mickey Mouse pants. I know she didn't just compare people to pennies at the arcade. Stop. If this wasn't from the official Herbalife YouTube channel, I'd think this wasn't real. This is it. This is the best that we got for Herbalife. This is who they thought was one of the best representations for their company.
These people in there, and then you sit back and you stop, and you might think, why are there no coins coming out? And you start to nudge the fruit machine. We don't want to be nudging fruit machines. We don't want to be nudging our organization, guys. We take the ownership back onto ourselves. And if you constantly have something that you are connected to, you will always automatically do that. You will always lead by example. You won't be inconsistent. Your organization are watching you. And whether you're a World team member, whether you're a Get team member, whether you're a President's team member, your organization are watching you for your behavior, for your attitude, and for your consistency. And whatever you do,
Big Brother is always watching.
Follow. So my advice to you is, be the leader that you would want to follow. Be the person that is the most excited in your organization. Be the person with the highest production in your organization. Be the person that has the most conversations.
The highest production? Is she Jeff Bezos now?
Your organization. Be the person that wakes up in the morning and does their personal development and has their plan for the day and follows their 90-day plan and knows where they're going and why they're going there, because your organization will always do what you do and not what you say. So if you have to read the books, read the books. If you have to plug into the trainings, the YouTube videos to get you fired up in the morning, do whatever it takes. But remember, the only true way to lead is by example and action, not by talking about what you're going to do or talking about the theory behind something, but actually going out there and showing your organization and everybody else, in fact, and more importantly yourself, that you are connected to why you're doing it, and that it's the best way to stay humble, it's the best way to stay relatable, and it's the best way to stay happy.
This is the least relatable woman I have ever seen, telling me how to be relatable and telling me how to be humble, when she is like the least humble person besides maybe Jessie Lee Ward that I have ever seen.
I know so many people in life outside of Herbalife that have achieved great wealth, great status, and they're really unhappy because they don't have a passion or a purpose for what they're doing. So I hope you've taken something from that. I'm only a baby still in Herbalife, 8 years, but if there's one thing that I've learned in my 8-year journey is I'm at my most happy and content when I'm out in the field helping people with our products, our incredible, incredible products. Never ever lose sight of how amazing they are. Again, this is another mindset thing, If someone came along and said, I've got the most amazing product, it's going to make you, lose body fat and feel amazing and get incredible shape and have all this energy, we would all be going crazy. Like, oh my God, I can't wait for that. Guys, you have that. You have it now. It's only your mindset and your attitude that's changed. So think like a brand new distributor. Never lose, Jane Clark taught me this, supervisor mentality. And I made a promise to myself. When I hit the President's team, we got a little bit stuck, and I became a little bit of a manager because I was a President's team member now. But as soon as we got going again, I said to myself, I will never lose my supervisor mentality. And I promised myself I never will. So make a promise to yourself now. No matter how far you get up, always keep your ego in check. Always stand guard to the gates of your mind. Work on your own mindset. Remember, your mind is your mental factory. What you put in will come out in behavior, will come out in how you feel about things in life. So make sure it's good stuff you're putting in. And remember, stay connected to the mission, just like you were when you were a supervisor, because I promise you, the magic happens when you stay in the game. I hope you've taken something from that. I hope you've had an incredible weekend. It's been wonderful for me. Cannot wait to hear Mark and Jill. They are just amazing. So good luck for the rest of the year. Cannot wait to see all of your pin changes and many of you soon at a live physical event. Big love. Stay safe. Mwah.
So something that I wanted to wait until she got done talking. She's talking about what you put in here is what is going to come out or something like that. That's another example of toxic positivity. And she talked about how the magic happens when you stay in the game. That's another way to keep you in the MLM. And I've talked about that before, how they talk about toxic positivity and how you can only put in good thoughts in your head so that way only good stuff comes out. Blah, 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 blah. You can never have your own feelings. You have to be a we happy few robot. I don't like this woman. And there she went, talking about the pin again at the end. I don't know if you caught that. So, that was that. And that was a hot mess. And I just, like I said, this is the best that Herbalife thought that they had. That they just let her speak at this virtual event. Which, yeah, I don't know if I mentioned, this was a virtual event. I don't remember if this was this year's virtual event or 2020's virtual event, but that was the best that they had. That was the best that they had. And that should tell you a lot about the company. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Enjoyed, I don't know if enjoyed is the right one, but I hope you learned something from that video. If nothing else, I hope you took something away from it. And don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you go, like I said in the beginning of the video. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye!